Back again, ready to die on this hill, ready to have some fun. Got somebody new joining me today. Good friend of mine, knows a hell of a lot about sports, music, games, movies. He's kind of an all-around know-it-all, and happy to have him here. He is the Fighting Irish 57 himself, Mr. Tim Schorling. How you doing today, Tim?
What's up, Ben? How you doing? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. There's just some random stuff that dropped, and I'm glad that you were able to jump on here and talk to me about them because some of the stuff is weird and wild, and I know you're going to have an opinion.
Yep.
And that's what we're here on Dying
yes.
This Hill to do, is to have an opinion on things. So the first thing we got to have an opinion on, as somebody who I know is a big-time football fan, played a lot yourself, was a pretty damn good player. And I need to know what you think of these new kickoff rules, because to me, why even have a kickoff anymore? I get it last year. They're trying to change the rules because they changed them to make it so that they took a lot of the hitting out of the game. Doing that, I heard the stat off McAfee earlier that 22% of kickoffs last year were returned. It's pretty much a non-existent play anymore.
Yeah.
Why have it? So they're trying to change the rules yet again to get us to a point where the kickoffs tend to matter. And that's where I think they're starting to go off the tracks, because they should just get rid of the play. And that's kind of where I'm going to stand on this. But I want to hear your thoughts, because this is weird. It's a little bit wild. And I'm not sure if I fully even understand it yet.
I definitely don't understand it fully yet. And I don't think anybody really does, except for the people that came up with it. And to be honest, they might not. I think they're still trying to figure it out. From the clip you sent me that I listened to McAfee, the kicker still kicks it from the 35, but he's all by himself.
He kicks it from the 35. He's by himself.
And
all the other players
except for the two returners, all the other players were within 10 yards of each other? Or 5 yards
so
from each other?
it would be, I think it's either 10 or 15 yards. So I think that everybody would line up on the 40, and they would or the 45, and then
then the 40 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it is like a 10-yard difference, but it's that.
So it's essentially one giant.
Yeah.
It's essentially one giant line of scrimmage with a kicker and returners.
Pretty much. And then this way, you have to have your returners, I think, inside of the zone or the box or whatever they're calling it, between the 20 and the goal. Yeah, the landing zone. There you go.
Which is between the 20 and the goal line. Yeah, it's weird. I guess they're taking it from the XFL model of the kickoff.
By the way, nothing should be taken from the XFL.
No, I forgot the XFL. They already merged with another league. It's not even the XFL anymore, isn't it?
To be honest, couldn't even tell you. Once football ends in February, to be honest, I can't get into these spring leagues. I'm into baseball. I'm into March Madness. I'm into other things. I can't get into.
I agree fully 100%. I'm not here. I like to watch the NFL, and that's it. And college, obviously, but like that spring league, the XFL and that spring league merged already. So the XFL didn't even last another whole 2 seasons or whatever it was. But anyway, I think that's what they took it from. I like that they're if they're doing this much to try to change it, I'll agree with you. They should just get rid of it or go to a commercial. Let them kick it off and throw a commercial in there.
Why not just give everybody the ball on the 25 and be done with it?
Or do that.
25.
Just do that.
Boom.
Because that's another problem I have with it. If you kick it out of bounds or whatever or something, they get it on the 40.
Well, yeah, no. So if you kick it out of bounds, you get it on the 40. If you kick it, I think
the penalty, the normal penalty, you'd get it on the 40. Yeah. But if you kick it in the landing zone as a touchback, I think it's the 25. But I think if it's just straight out of bounds or something I don't know. But there's the 25, the 35, and the 40 or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm very confused about it.
Yeah, it's a 25. They land in the landing zone, and then it goes through the end zone as for a touchback. Then they start on the 25. If the ball is whatever, normally kicked out of bounds, whatever, you get on the 40. If it's kicked off and it goes into the end zone, so it didn't land in that landing zone but went directly into the end zone, then you get it on the 35. It's pretty
Okay.
much making
Okay.
it so that its kicks are specialized to land in this landing zone, in which you will have
Yeah.
two returners. So that this way you can still have that backward pass. You can still do some things, and,
You
and
can
it
still do
feels
something
like
with it. Yeah.
it feels like special teams still matters. Which, to be
Yeah.
honest, it really doesn't.
And the
Get it
no,
out of the
at
game.
least kickoff and kick. Yeah, at least kickoff and kick return doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Obviously, your other special teams like your punt, your partner, that's all still very important. But
yeah. This is a play that to me is just a dying play. You want to get the hits out of the
yeah,
game, then take the hits out of the game. Don't make it so that the
exactly.
hits are just different because they're still running
Yeah.
into each other. Granted, they don't have a
Mhm.
25 or 30-yard head start like they did before, but
Bro,
you're
I
still
mean,
colliding at high speeds.
Yeah.
You know what I
I've
mean? It's not like it's
e
that much safer.
yeah. Even in high school and stuff, like 10 yards is enough to get enough speed. And these guys are a lot faster than me or you or anybody else that just played high school ball. So that 10 yards is still going to create some collision. But if you're going to do something this crazy, just take it away, because the kicker, I mean, can't even cross the 50 until the ball has touched the ground or touched the returner's hand.
To be honest,
So
the
he's
kicker
just
should
gonna
just
sit
run
there.
off the field once he kicks it.
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
I mean,
He
it's
really
not like
should.
back in the day when like the kicker was your last line of defense to make the tackle. Like,
Yeah,
okay, when was the
or
last time you saw a kicker make a tackle?
Pat McAfee probably. Because he
Probably,
leveled,
right?
dude, he leveled people.
But that was how long ago now?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's got his own show now. Yeah, like,
For many years, very successful. Very successful
very,
off the field.
very.
So,
But he
yeah,
laid people out, man.
But who does this benefit? Do you think we're going to end up with more returns because of this? Because that's what the NFL ultimate goal is to
Honestly.
make the return more prevalent again, to make it so it's closer. I mean, I don't think they want it 50-50, but at the same time, they definitely don't want 22%. So I guess they're trying to get up around 40, 35, 40% of kickoffs returned, or maybe even 45. I think that they would like that, but does this get them there?
I don't think so, because like, I think it's going to go one of two ways. They're going to actually try and make this a thing, or the returners are going to be like, I'm just going to let it go out of bounds or go into the end zone or whatever. Because also what you got to think of, like, the offenses, I mean, aren't really going to complain about it, but like, dude, you can't make a rule and have your offense start on the 40-yard line. You know how much pressure that's already putting on the defense?
Right.
Like that, like you could throw it to the end zone from the 40-yard line. A pro quarterback can throw it to the end zone from the 40-yard line. Like, it's too close. Like, if you're starting there. But I mean, overall, yeah, I guess just get rid of the play. Just like you said, give it to him on the 25 and start there.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, between that and the only rule change other than that I would want to see is, I mean, I always thought that they've been trending this way for a long time anyway, to just make the playoff rules the same as they are in college. And
Yeah,
I think that's the way they're going to end up going. Yeah.
Nothing beats college playoff rules.
Right. So,
It's too exciting.
It's way more exciting. I mean, obviously, I think they tweak it for the NFL, make it a little bit different, where they start on the 35 instead of the 25 or even 40.
Yeah,
and drive in. But
you can set it. Yeah, bring them back a little bit, because they are pros, not college, so they do have a little bit more. There's a bigger skill gap there, but
and that would go to exactly what we're talking about. No need for kickoffs. Each team gets to possess the ball. Each team starts with it on the 40. What do you even need to kick it? Exactly. There's no coin flip. There's the only thing you're coin flipping for is which side of the field you're on. Do you want the ball first, or do you want the ball second?
And going back to the Super Bowl real quick, they went to overtime, and San Francisco didn't even know the rules.
Yeah,
like that would abolish all of that. Like, you wouldn't have to be like, oh, well, if we get the ball, then they get a chance, and then whatever, blah, 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 whatever. Like, it'd just be like, nope, 25. There we go, done.
I'm with you. I am with you.
Yeah,
and I just wonder, is this the only rule?
They're changing the rules so much now that I bet you it all depends on how this one does. The one thing, I mean, I would say get rid of, besides, the playoff, like switching to playoff college, is taunting. Get rid of it. Like, it's stupid. They're grown men. Let them mess around with each other. Let them taunt each other.
I'm with you to an extent. I think sometimes they call it a little too fast. I mean, I don't think you should
don't
be
get me wrong.
necessarily standing over a guy like screaming at him. But I mean, if you get up and make a first down move, or you get dancing in the end zone with teammates or doing whatever, to me that stuff that type of taunting is stupid.
As long,
even to me, the TO running out to the middle of the star and that was a bit stupid, and some of those antics.
I remember that clip. I saw that clip like a couple days ago on TikTok or something.
Yeah,
he just got leveled.
Those kind of antics, even the cell phone. I remember Horn years ago,
Joe
right?
Horn?
Yeah,
Joe Horn. Yeah,
pulled the cell phone out from underneath the thing. Like it was to me, like that's fun. Like make the game fun. The people are there to be entertained. Entertain us. It's a gladiator sport. We're there to be entertained. But for a while it's always been called the No Fun League. And
of course. I mean, there's like even on the Kelsey podcast stuff, they say it. They've called it the No Fun League. Like,
they know who would want to have fun.
The players know.
I mean, but that's why. But I always appreciated the guys that would push the envelope and screw it, give me the fine. The Ocho Cincos of the world, or those kind of guys that just kind of like laughed at it and was like, you know what, you're gonna find me no matter what, so just do it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
As long as you have the skill to back it up, just do it. Who cares, man?
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the skill to back it up, that's going to bring us to our next topic. And, going into our next topic, this is our, hang on. Knuckleheaded News of the Week. I don't know why this needed an announcement, but apparently MLB The Show is going to be putting, I guess, I'm going to let you speak on this because you're more the gamer in the group. But
I got you.
But yeah, they're and again, no issues with this, by the way. I'm not saying I have an issue with this.
Yeah.
I just find it weird they needed an announcement to do it.
It didn't need an announcement. They're like,
so go ahead. Tell us what's going on with MLB The Show.
Yeah. So what they're doing is in what was MLB The Show 25, I guess. They're introducing like female characters that you can play as, like for your created like person. You go through the minors with them like your created player. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I can understand why they're doing it. They're trying to get the woman girl demographic into the game. I mean, as a video game player myself.
But I don't know why they needed to announce that. Like, why is this so new? Like, what? This is where I'm asking, coming from a gaming perspective, because I'm not much of a gamer. Yeah. To me, I feel like this is something that kind of should have been in the game already. If you're able to create a player, you should have been able to create whoever you wanted to begin with. So,
honestly, I couldn't tell you. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like, to me, it seems like almost like a no-brainer that, well, if you're creating a character to play with, then yeah. But, and listen, there are women managers in Major League Baseball now, and, there are... But no one's saying women can't be in the sport. I just find it funny that they're trying to use it as a promotional tool. But it's like...
And that's literally all it is.
But at the same time, they're not even kind of capitalizing on the best part of... Yeah, women love baseball. Women can... I've always loved baseball. But at the same time, they also love softball. They also have people like... I know growing up, I know names like Jenny Finch. And like... Why wouldn't some girls want to aspire to be that? And why don't they add some of those women to the game? To me, like, I feel like this is something that should have happened a while ago. So that's where I'm kind of confused on this big announcement that came out about MLB The Show.
Yeah. So with that, your Jenny Finches, like your big time players, they should be like an unlockable or something like that. Because don't they do like cards in video games, like trading cards in games and stuff now. Like make it put like a Jenny Finch card. Or, honestly, I don't know any other softball players, so Jenny Finch is going to be the name for the whole time. Like put a Jenny Finch on there and then make her an unlockable character along with being able to make your own character or whatever like that. This way, you can like have the real life professional players that aspire to the younger girls and who they know who they are, and then they can have their own character that's made. With that, I bet you like there's no way they can have a standalone softball game. So I think that's what the real like integration of like your women's character is, because they can't make a standalone softball game. I don't think it would work.
No, I agree, but
So
I think why not
they're
integrate
just
some
trying.
of them into the game, like you said, make them an
Yeah.
unlockable character, like a Dot
Hmm.
Richardson or a Joan Joyce or a
Yeah, just whoever. Yeah. But
Elisa
yeah,
Fernandez. You never know. Like I'm just saying, like
but
you could have some of these in there,
yeah,
but at the same time, this way at least you're representing some professional women as
yeah,
well
exactly.
that have played at
Yeah,
a high
you're kind
level.
of you're kind of giving them their respect of they made it too.
Exactly. So
Um,
that's kind of where I'm coming from. Of just I can't
the
believe it took
announcement.
this long to
Yeah,
get to this
yeah,
point. Like that's kind
yeah.
of where I'm at.
And honestly, I haven't played a baseball game in a very long time. Um, and when I did, I didn't play like the creative character, so I didn't even know it wasn't an option, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I don't understand why it wouldn't have been there already. Like,
I guess
if you want
gamer
girls
fathers might
and
like
boys,
this too if they have young
right?
if they
Yeah,
have young
right.
daughters.
Yeah,
Want to get them in.
yeah.
Hey, you want to come play some MLB The
Hmm.
Show?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I don't want to go to it, but they're probably they're seeing what Taylor Swift has done with football. It's bringing fathers and daughters and fathers and like husbands and wives, and it's bringing women to it because they love Taylor Swift. So they're probably trying to somehow backhand ride that coattail and see if it works, if that makes any sense.
It makes sense, but the only thing is they're actually missing that Taylor Swift connection.
Yeah,
But at
I
the
never
same
said it
time,
was.
like
I
I do
never
think you're
said it
right.
was a good.
They're trying to grab
Yeah,
that audience for sure.
yeah, yeah. So I think that's what they're doing. The announcement thing, that's not necessary. That's all publicity. That's, oh, look what we're doing. We're being inclusive. Nobody cares.
And that's
Congratulations,
where I feel like this
you included a
announcement's
female
coming from.
character.
Of like, oh look, we're being inclusive now. We're being inclusive now.
Yeah,
It's like, but you kind of just should have
but
been
you could have
anyway.
been doing
If
it.
you
Yeah,
were
you could have
creating
been doing it from
characters
the
anyway.
beginning.
Why wouldn't you create
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
option before? It's a bit silly.
Congratulations. You spent another 10 minutes putting long hair on a character.
Right? I got to be honest. I think
Like,
the last.
it's
I'm
weird.
trying to think of the last baseball game that I played, like on a console, on a system.
I think the last one I played was on like Sega Dreamcast.
Right? I feel like what was the
That's like MLB 2K.
Well, there was Techno Super Bowl. I know that was the football game from Nintendo. What was the baseball game called? Bases Loaded. No?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it may have been. Hold on.
Yeah, look
We have
that
phones.
up for me.
We have phones for this now.
I think it was Bases Loaded. I could be wrong, but that was the one that had kind of like fictional teams. You couldn't be like the Yankees. You couldn't be whatever, but it had like the New York whatever. So,
I think it's literally just called Nintendo Baseball.
Okay, might be just called Nintendo Baseball.
I think it's just Nintendo. Oh, well, there's Ken Griffey Jr. There's Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball too, but I don't know if that was Nintendo.
One. I think the game that I played was called Bases Loaded. Maybe it was a Super Nintendo
Major League
game.
Yeah, because for all I see for Nintendo is just
it might have been
Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it might have been a Super Nintendo game.
Let's see.
Super Bases Loaded, maybe.
Super Baseball. No, that's 2020. No, 1991. What the hell? Super Baseball Simulator. Ken Griffey Jr. presents baseball. Super RBI Baseball. I don't know, man. There's so many baseball games. It's stupid. Yeah, there's Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball.
Yeah, no, this was just it was Bases Loaded, Nintendo's original game. Yeah, it was called Bases Loaded. Yeah, if you look it up, Bases Loaded Nintendo. That was the last one I can remember playing.
Bases Loaded.
I didn't play. I never played honestly any of the MLB The Shows.
Gotcha.
I wasn't too big a gamer, honestly. Like I followed the Nintendo systems for whatever reason. I remember I had a Super Nintendo. My grandmother gave me when I was real young. Which, funny story behind that, before she gave it to me, she bought it in like July. She wanted to test it first. She was always kind of a techie person anyway. Had a computer, would play computer video games.
Always helpful.
So she decided she wanted to see what this Super Mario Brothers was all about. She beat the game before she even gave it to me. Rewrapped it, put it back in the box.
That's awesome.
But then I kept it at her house, and when I would play it, if I had trouble with levels, I would call her into the room and she would help me
hand
with
over the
level.
controller.
And I actually have, it's one of my favorite photos of her, a photo of her next to the TV after she beat the game that says "The End" with Mario, Peach, and Luigi.
That's awesome.
So yeah, no,
that's awesome.
So I kind of followed the Nintendo systems. Then I got myself an N64, but I didn't get that till I was in high school, and I really only played like 4 or 5 games with that. I played, the classics, obviously, GoldenEye, Mario Kart, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and
so good.
NFL Blitz. They were
Blitz.
the 4 games. I will die on that hill.
Blitz.
That is the Mount Rushmore of Super Nintendo games right there. And I will rock anybody's socks. I would
add a 5th Mario Kart, the original Mario Kart for N64. I would add that one. But
but that's what I had Mario Kart. I said Mario Kart. I said
my bad.
I say this is Mount Rushmore. So there's 4 of them. I got Mario Kart. I got GoldenEye. I got Tony Hawk, and I got NFL Blitz. Those are the 4.
I didn't hear Mario Kart. I'm sorry.
No, all good. Those are the N64. That's the Mount Rushmore, right?
I don't know.
I dare anybody to argue that with me. Dying on that.
I'm trying to think of something and I can't, because all I played on N64 was Mario Kart and GoldenEye.
You didn't play Blitz?
And Blitz.
I love Blitz.
No, I played Blitz and Blitz. I played Blitz. I played those 3. That was pretty much it.
Right?
And I didn't have the one of all the consoles to not have. I never had an N64, and now I want one in the worst way.
But everybody back in the day had a Nintendo, and everybody who had that Nintendo is going to be a little bit nostalgic for our next topic, because this is a perfect segue. And yeah, it is. We all played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and that was a great game back in the day. That was a fantastic Nintendo game, one of the best. I'd put it up there on the Nintendo Mount Rushmores.
Oh, hands down. Easily.
Great game. He is stepping back in the ring at 58 years old to fight
and I'd still be terrified.
Or to fight Jake Paul. July 20th. Yeah. I think he's 58. Logan Paul's 27. 31-year difference.
I don't care. If he doesn't punch his head off, it's rigged.
Who doesn't punch whose head off?
If Tyson doesn't punch Paul's head off, it's rigged.
No, see, but this is where I think it's a lose-lose no matter who wins.
I don't care, man.
No, hear me out here, because it's a lose-lose for both sides. Everybody but the audience watching, I should say. For each of them, it's a loss, because if Tyson beats up Jake Paul, he's beating up a 27-year-old. He's beating up a kid who doesn't know his ass from his elbow. Honestly, when it comes from boxing, he boxes a lot of guys that are UFC guys or over-the-hill guys, and he's trying to go for the big name who's going to draw in the most money. I get what the kid's trying to do, but Tyson beating up a kid is Tyson beating up a kid. And if this kid beats up Tyson and Tyson loses, Tyson may die in the ring. Tyson's 58 and he's been punched an awful lot of times.
Yeah.
It may not take many more for him to go down permanently. You know what I mean? So I'm a little worried that either side could be an extreme loss here, and for both sides. So I'm a little worried because yes, Tyson probably is still physically intimidating. Still, I'm sure knows the techniques of boxing. It's like riding a bike. He's not giving it up. Like I'm sure that he knows what he's doing with his hands still. No.
I saw a video of him a couple of days ago, like on TikTok or something, and he was still working out, and he was still like fast.
Yeah.
Maybe not as fast as he used to be, but that man was quick. I was like, that's not good.
But that's
terrifying.
The other weird part of this fight to me was the fact that it's going to be on Netflix. And I was just wondering your thoughts on.
Strange. Is
it going to be like a pay-per-view for Netflix, where like even though I have Netflix, am I going to be able to just watch it with my regular Netflix account, or am I going to have to pay like a premium, like kind of like a cable service where I have cable, but then I got to pay for a pay-per-view?
I don't know. I would hope that if you just have a Netflix account, they're just going to give it to you, because they're going to make their money on people buying new accounts just to watch it, guaranteed.
But are they though? Are that many people going to tune into an over-the-hill Tyson fighting Jake Paul
they're
that
gonna
most people
turn.
like. I'll be honest. I brought this topic up to Janice before. Janice didn't even know who Jake Paul was. She was like, "Who?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's got a brother." She's like, "I think I heard of Logan Paul, but I don't know. There's Jake Paul." And I was like, "See,
well,
so
Logan's won the WWE, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. So he's definitely more popular. WWE. He's on every week, dude. Like they're gonna hear about him more. But I think they'll get the new accounts for the Paul brother fans. I'm not one at all. I don't understand why people like him so much. Like their internet hits. Like they had videos go viral, and now they're just doing everything, which I don't blame them. Make your money, dude. I don't blame you at all. And I mean, you have to be some type of athletic to do what they're doing. So I'm not taking that from them. But do I think they're good enough that they should be there? No, absolutely not. I think that's why he's boxing over the hill guys, just like the money grab type matches.
Yeah, I mean, I get why he's doing it, and I'm
Absolutely,
not for
100%.
I'm not against the match per se. To me, I just think I wonder on Tyson's side. Does he need the money that bad? I'm gonna say probably not. I think he does all right for himself, even in his older age. I think he's been better. I think he's had plenty of opportunities, and I don't think he needs it. Like I don't think it's a money need for him. So I don't know if maybe he's just got the itch and he's just seeing if he still has it. But to me, I'm like I don't understand his real motivation to fight Jake Paul. Like I remember back in the day, you're fighting because you're trying to fight your way up to win a title. There is no title after Jake Paul. There's just Jake Paul, and then
it's
nothing.
An exhibition. It's an exhibition match.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
Exactly, and I'm sure they're each going to make millions from it, and that's guaranteed. I know that there's a big payday for each of them, but if it's just about the payday, then I worry about is Tyson's head really in it, and if it's not about the payday, then I worry that he may actually take Jake Paul's head off. So it's like it's a really weird fight that when I first saw it online, I was like, this can't be right. And then I went to Twitter and I saw it or X, and I was like, they're still seeing it here. Why am I seeing this here? And then I went to the almighty ESPN, and they verified it too. And I'm like, this is wild. And I'm baffled.
Yeah, same. Like you said, like if Tyson does take it seriously, like, because who knows? Like you don't know. Maybe Tyson heard it's Jake, right? Yeah, Jake. Maybe he heard Jake Paul say something. He didn't. Yeah, Jake from State Farm. He's gonna need him if Tyson takes this fight seriously.
Exactly.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe Jake Paul said something. Tyson didn't like it, so he's like, "All right, let's do it." Or maybe he's just like you said, let's see if I can hang with you because you're 30 years younger than me.
It's gonna. I actually did the comparison too because Jake Paul just turned 27 in January, and I looked it up. Tyson's 57 now, but turns 58 in I think June. Fights in July, so he's going to be 50. It's going to be a 31-year age difference. That's a massive age difference. So
it is,
and I think that's the only. Like Tyson in his prime, Jake Paul wouldn't even be sniffing. Like he would be laughed at to get a shot against Tyson in his prime. Tyson
there's
not in his prime. And to be honest, the guy seems more level-headed and like focused now than he did when he was 20, 30 years ago.
Dude, Mike Tyson, I feel like there was no like talking to Mike Tyson when he was younger and in his prime, and he was just like, I'm going to rip your head off, and that's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, and now he's actually got a level head about him. You hear him talk, you hear him do interviews, and he's like insightful. He's like, it's like, wow, all right. And then like now to hear he's fighting again, it's like, but why would you want to scramble your egg? Like I don't get it. I just like, to me, I'm trying to really like, and I'm sure in the next few months we'll hear from him. We'll hear about the motivation of the why.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
whatnot, but
have their press conferences. They're gonna hype this up. They're gonna
it's gonna be massively hyped for Netflix because Netflix is trying to build out a little like sports niche for themselves because all these other platforms, whether it's Amazon, Peacock, Paramount, they're all getting into the sports game. You've heard rumors of like WB and all those guys getting together to form one big network. So Netflix trying to get their piece of the pie. So I guess this is one way they're trying to do it.
Well, Netflix got the rights to Monday Night Raw for 2025, right?
Yeah, no, they have the rights for the next 10 years in a ridiculous deal that they got, or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you. Wasn't sure if you heard that or not.
Yeah, no, I said that's why they're trying to, I think, carve out this niche of sports entertainment where it's like they're doing the wrestling, but then they're going to have boxing and they're going to have, maybe MMA or whatever, like whether UFC or whatever. I think because with the WWE, they're tied to the UFC now because they're all owned under one company. So I think there's a good
they are. You're right.
Yeah. The TKO.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I think there's
TKO.
I think there's a good chance that if things go well with them having Raw, that they may dive into the UFC market, and I think they'll end up pulling some of that from ESPN and bringing it to Netflix if it works. If the Raw thing works out, and I think that could be huge. And then they could carve out this whole you guys go to Peacock or whatever to watch football, but Netflix is where you're going to come to see wrestling, boxing, UFC, your hand to hand sport combat,
your violent sports.
Yeah. For Netflix is going to have you covered there.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to happen. But with everything going on in the WWE right now, I mean, they might not want to work with them. But I doubt it. It's just too much of a big money deal.
All right.
So everything is going on. But
so then
I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on. I just know Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar are in like deep shit.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. To be honest, I don't even want to talk about that kind of stuff because it's not good.
I know.
Go read the allegations yourself. I'm not going to touch them.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
it. They're not good. They are.
They
paint Vince McMahon and a lot of other people in a really bad
situation.
Yeah, real bad situation, and anybody associated with that situation is a bad situation. So it's and to be honest, if the lawsuit goes further and further, it's probably going to get uglier and uglier. More names will get
100%
dragged through the mud, and it's going to be. And I mean, again, I urge people that if you want to know what happened to Vince McMahon, if you want to know what happened on that side of things,
go look it up yourself.
Yeah, and just be prepared for some of the allegations because they are disturbing. To say the least, they're not normal. They're not from sane people. If it's true, it's horrific. So, but speaking of horrific though, and to kind of bring us to or towards the end here, we got to come up with a die on this hill question. And I think the only question we could have for the week or for the episode is, who you taking? Is it Jake Paul or is it Tyson? Which hill you dying on? The youth or the experience?
Like we talked about, though, I mean, you don't know how Tyson's going into this. Like you said, if Tyson's going into just kind of get some money, chill, hang out, whatever, he might let Paul beat him. If he's going to rip Paul's head off, he's going to win, period. So with that, I mean, I'm going to choose Tyson just because he's the boxer. He's the real boxer. Because he could just win through rounds. He doesn't even have to knock the kid out. But I'll go with Tyson on this.
Well, see, here's where I think that Tyson's going to have to knock him out, I think, because the longer the fight goes, age doesn't go well with that. And I think that's where the youth and the stamina will come into play. So I think Jake Paul's got to run around that ring the first few rounds and just tire that guy out. Tire him out. And I think that's the only strategy he could have, because if Tyson gets a hold of him and Tyson lands some shots, and especially early,
he's done.
I don't think he's getting up. So I think it's either a knockout by Tyson, because I think if this goes 12 rounds, I think you're going to have a much better chance of it actually being Jake Paul. So with that being 100%. Said, I'm dying for somebody to knock this kid out. So
I am too.
And to be honest, like, who better to do it than Tyson? And I would like to see him come back and
be
be
knockout king. Yeah.
and to be to not look like a punk to this kid too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause this kid has been punking people and has been like picking certain fights for certain reasons, and I just can't wait until the one day he picks the wrong one. And I think that this time could be that time. We're gonna have to wait till July to find out. But
he may have bit off more than he could chew.
Yeah, I think he definitely bit off more
Perhaps
than he can chew. So, but yeah, he's got to work on that stamina. If he does, and he comes in focused and ready, and it looks like he's going to take this fight seriously so far, from everything I've read, seen, whatever, it seems like it's going to.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it, like, if he takes this fight seriously, he's going to get hurt. Like, Jake Paul's going to get hurt, man.
I'm just hoping nobody gets hurt before it can happen.
I agree.
That's what I'm hoping for, because if somebody gets hurt, if like Tyson gets hurt because he's training too hard, again, the man's 58 years old. He's been punched a lot.
Yes.
How much damage has his body already endured? It's going to be, and it's going to have to endure more, like I said, because he's going to have to get, those first few rounds are going to be really important in that fight. Can he conserve his energy? Can he land some big blows? And I'm going to root and say that he can. So that's the hill I'm going to die on.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Tyson too. I would love to see him knock him out, because I'm not really a big fan of Jake Paul. I think he's kind of annoying. But you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Well, I do know what's going to happen is this was so much fun. I think we're going to have to do it again in the future. So
absolutely.
Until
I believe
then,
we're actually coming up there tomorrow.
Right? Oh, well, then I'm going to have you here in my little studio here next week at some point.
Yeah, dude.
Come and,
we'll do it live.
Come and talk. Until then, where can the kids find you? Because I know you more than any of the rest of us have plenty of places where they can find you. So go ahead, Mr. Fight Night 57. Let them know.
So I mean, I stream video games. If you guys didn't pick that up through the podcast, you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Kick, Twitch, YouTube, all fighting Irish_57. That's my name on all platforms. But yeah, you can find me pretty much on any social media platform is that name.
Awesome. And till next time, you can find me at The Living Legend on X, on YouTube at Die on This Hill, Spotify Die on This Hill, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your favorite podcast. If you like what you heard, share, follow, subscribe. And until then, don't be afraid to have an opinion and die on this hill.
Absolutely.